The big international headline this morning is about Donald Trump and China. This is a full-on showdown now between the United States of America and the Chinese government. America has raised the tariff on China to a whopping 104%. This is in total a combined tariff. USA says, we punch back harder at China. China's retaliation has been a mistake. Remember, when first the announcement was made of about 34% to China, China said we'll have a retaliatory tariff that would be higher. Donald Trump said, I'll put a higher retaliatory tariff of about 50%. Now, in total, when we calculate with regard to China, in addition, remember, there's also a tax with regard to the fentanyl flow into the United States of America. That's about 20%. That's been a previous tax, and then comes in 34%, then a 50%. It amounts in total to about 104%. This likely is the highest because unlike other nations, including India, that's taken a more negotiation route, a back and forth discussion, China has taken a full confrontational route. Let's listen in to the reactions that have come in from the White House.
I just spoke to the president about this, and he believes that China wants to make a deal with the United States. He believes China has to make a deal with the United States. It was a mistake for China to retaliate. The president, when America is punched, he punches back harder. That's why there will be 104% tariffs going into effect on China tonight at midnight. But the president believes that she and China want to make a deal. They just don't know how to get that started. And the president also wanted me to tell all of you that if China reaches out to make a deal, he'll be incredibly gracious, but he's going to do what's best for the American people.
This is bigger than any deal. You guys, some of you work for companies. Your companies are peanuts. I don't care how big they are. Compared, this is the largest transaction in the history of our country. And don't let some of these politicians go around saying, you know, because I'm telling you, these countries are calling us up, kissing my ass. They are dying to make a deal. Please, please, sir, make a deal. I'll do anything. I'll do anything, sir. And then I'll see some rebel Republican, you know, some guy that wants to grandstand, say, I think that Congress should take over negotiations. Let me tell you, you don't negotiate like I negotiate. Congress takes over negotiating. Sell America fast because you're going to go busted. The shrill voices that you're hearing this week about tariffs are the same and frauds who never thought twice about when the United States lost 90,000 factories and plants. Think of that, 90,000. How do you do 90? If you had a map, a big map the size of that wall, and you had a pin for each factory, you wouldn't have enough room. You think of it, 90,000 factories since NAFTA. I'm proud to be the president for the workers, not the outsourcers. The president who stands up for Main Street, not Wall Street, who protects the middle class, not the political class, and who defends America, not trade cheaters all over the globe. They're trade cheaters. They cheated on us. They cheated with tariffs on us. They stole our money. They stole our jobs. My job is not to maximize the profits of outsourcers and these foreign corporations are horrible. It's horrible what they're doing, but we're catching them. We're catching them by the dozens. My job is I have to defend the American dream, and I have to defend the American citizens. That's my job. I have to defend that. The American dream is never mentioned. It was mentioned for 4 years, and now it's being mentioned again, but it was never mentioned when we had Sleepy Joe in office.
Karishma Sudani from Business Today continues to be with us. Karishma, tell me about this. Unlike other nations, this has turned into a full-on showdown back and forth. What are you making of this? And would we be correct to say that this is clearly the highest that is imposed on any nation right now?
Absolutely. It's a clear situation of trade war, very much on the expected lines. U.S. and China being two strong economies on loggerheads is something that is a major concern because most of the other surrounding economies are dependent on a trade chain which is followed by how U.S. and China lead. The fact that China has said they will not budge on any kind of retaliatory taxation coming in from the U.S. and they will also upscale their decisions, and the fact that U.S. has said the same thing, that they will neither budge is a concern because it really will impact the supply chains and how the global trade movement is affected. Also, South Korea and Japan sharing, taking a step forward in solving this, meeting the U.S. counterparts, and China not doing it could be a game changer because it could give some kind of benefit and a first mover advantage to other countries surrounding China, which is in the Asia Pacific, Vietnam, Thailand, India, especially India, Taiwan, which are willing to make some changes on their tariff policy.
It's a reminder for other countries watching right now that if they go the retaliatory way or a threatening way like China has, Donald Trump is planning to do what he has done, which is have a higher tariff. So he's not really budging at all. So whether other countries will choose a more reconciliatory tone. And remember, Karishma made an important point. USA and China fighting over this is very important because these are the top two economies of the world right now. And they are currently in a showdown. And that is why it's such a big story. 34% retaliatory tariff by China. USA then announces in total 104% tariff imposition on Chinese goods that would be imported. New tariff on Beijing will come into effect from the 9th of April. So it's already going to happen in the next few hours. The White House claims China is seeking a trade deal with the USA and he will have to reduce tariffs on America first to begin the talks for a trade pact. White House is adding that Trump has a spine of steel. Whenever China punches him, he punches back harder. China, remember, firmly opposed American tariffs, vowed to announce countermeasures, which they did, and then USA has gone ahead to impose a higher tariff. China is asserting that they will safeguard their interests and they will not be intimidated by this blackmail or bullying by America.
The president's message has been simple and consistent from the beginning. To countries around the world, bring us your best offers, and he will listen. Deals will only be made if they benefit American workers and address our nation's crippling trade deficits. America does not need other countries as much as other countries need us, and President Trump knows this. He's going to use the leverage of our markets and our country to the advantage of the people he was sworn in to represent. In total, since the Liberation Day announcement, nearly 70 countries have already reached out to the president to begin a negotiation. Countries are falling over themselves to reform their unfair trade practices and free open their markets to our country. Why? Because these countries greatly respect President Trump and the sheer power of the American market.